Hey, what's up? First up, the biggest QL change that's actually going to affect how a bunch of rounds play out. Killjoy's turret got smarter to use. Instead of having to awkwardly angle your body or stand in a very specific spot to make the turret face the exact way you want, you can now rotate the turret while holding Alt-Fire, and pressing the Activate key will swap the turret's direction. That might sound small on paper, but in practice, it means you can set a turret to cover an awkward angle without exposing yourself to peak angles or wasting time repositioning. Think about those clutches where you want a turret watching a narrow choke while you hold an off angle. This change makes those setups faster and less clumsy to execute. The notes also mention fresh voice lines for Sova, which is a light but fun touch for folks who like character flavor and audio variety in matches. On the bug front, there's a solid batch of fixes that should smooth out some annoying edge cases. A few of the more irritating Killjoy issues were addressed. Nanoswarms could sometimes stay invisible if you darted in and out of their detection range, or if Killjoy was suppressed, and there were cases where the Nanoswarm's disabled effects wouldn't play correctly. Those have been fixed. The turret's minimap vision cone disappearing on right-click was also patched, which should cut down on confusing moments where you think your turret is covering something, but it isn't. Jet had an odd audio bug where her drift passive could be heard through Astra's Cosmic Divide. That passive SFX should no longer bleed through and give away positions. Harbor's Storm Surge had a timing edge case where it could briefly persist into the next round if cast just as a round ended. That's been cleaned up too. Fade's Nightfall minimap indicator was slightly off size-wise, and that's corrected, and a handful of other agent-specific glitches like Chamber's trademark reactivation sound and Sky's seeker visibility for observers were fixed. There are also fixes for the Battle Pass UI behaving oddly when you hit ESC, several Breeze map collision tweaks to let vices and Sages place correctly on walls, and multiple minor art issues around the same map. These feel like the sort of under-the-hood maintenance that won't change the meta overnight, but will remove a lot of small frustrations that happen during high-pressure rounds. Performance improvements are another important strand of this update. After the previous patch, some players reported significant stuttering, and this rollout includes a more robust fix. The developers already pushed a hotfix earlier for a partial remedy, and this patch aims to bring a more comprehensive solution. Stutters can wreck aim and timing, so even modest reductions here can improve match quality across the board. Alongside that, the store had two little visual bugs patched, the accessories store background being missing and an accessory showing up as a limited item incorrectly. Nothing gameplay shaping, but it helps the front end feel polished again. On the PC side, there's a user interface refresh for end of game and career screens. The progression summary and timeline tabs got an updated layout, and after competitive matches, you'll see a new rank summary screen that lays out RR gains and losses more clearly. The career and friends career pages also received UI updates, and the Battle Pass tab in the top navigation has been replaced with a progression tab that points you to a single progression hub. That hub collects your Battle Pass, weekly missions, active event passes, and other progression opportunities in one place so you can quickly see what's left to grind. There's a known issue where the scroll wheel won't navigate between Battle Pass tiers yet, which the notes say will be fixed in the next patch, so be ready for that little quirk while browsing tiers. There are also map geometry tweaks across several high-traffic spots intended to eliminate weird gaps players could exploit or fall through, and Breeze specifically had a few collision improvements to allow gadget placement where it previously failed. Those types of changes are often invisible until you try to put a camera or an ability where it wouldn't stick before, and then you suddenly realize how many awkward moments they actually fixed.